Good evening, Eternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news. For nearly 2 years, KOTT News has been on the Eternum scene, bringing you the news. Since day one swimming ashore, KOTT News was there, covering all of the island's drama. Whenever there was something, wherever there was something, KOTT were the first to chronicle the story. Pix or it didn't happen, you say? With nearly 700 episodes of historical archives, KOTT has proven itself to be Eternum's #1 source for news. KOTT has covered the daily lives of the citizens, as well as the efforts of the entirely voluntary invasion response squads. And of course, KOTT is there after every simulated fantasy combat resolution they can make to get reactions and commentary from the participants. But now a new discovery in Azoth-powered travel has revealed a grand new story for KOTT to investigate. And investigate it we shall.
7 is locked.
Breaking news as multiverse travel is unlocked to a parallel world, almost identical to the world of Eternum we all know. However, here, corruption forces never invade, and factional companies can compete without distraction for ultimate bragging rights. Combatants, once limited to the population of their own version of reality, have congregated on this unique version of Eternum to prove their skill. But not everything is so different, as factional differences emerge regarding the methodology of proving just who is greater than whom. For some, the very existence of this new land serves as evidence of their divine right to rule over all who arrive on its shores. For others, it is up to the collective might of the individuals to prove their superiority by way of trial by combat, while others still have negotiated a methodology to resolve this dispute that all parties involved have agreed to adhere to. The preeminent leaders of the island have agreed to divide the island into 9 distinctive regions and engage in combat at predetermined times. Each company will be granted 2 opportunities each week, one to attack a competing faction and one to defend their designated home region, with a short playoff schedule to be determined based on the results compiled after preliminary rounds of group stages early on. Teams have already begun intense training and conditioning in preparation for this long and grueling season of conflict. Some companies have even agreed to participate in light practice skirmishes. KOTT News were able to speak with some of them after their battle to get their reactions. Yes, May, congratulations on your preseason victory here in Restless Shore. How do you feel it went out there tonight?
Thank you. I'm so excited right now. I cannot feel myself anymore. This is the victory game.
See, you've got the blood pumping and ready to go for the upcoming inaugural season of the New World League. Are you excited about your chances this year?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Hey, you know how it is. I'm coming around here checking out the preseason action to see how everyone feels about their chances coming into the season. How did you feel about the outcome tonight?
I mean, Corey Minoshi just can't get it done.
Well, there you go. Shots fired already. We haven't even begun the season, but you're already liking your chances to be victorious, huh?
Yeah, we're the best, for sure. No one's even close.
Oh, so what are your preseason expectations? Where do you see yourselves aligning? I know you already believe you're going to win it all, but what is your record going to be?
8-0.
Later in Brightwood, KOTT News caught up with syndicate leaders to go over their results and discuss their league expectations. All right, well, first things first, I wanted to congratulate you on what was not exactly a victory, but was a very well-fought practice, all right? You guys did great getting into the fort phase at about 14 minutes, but tell me, do you think that the river had any impact on your ability to take Alpha? It only took you about 5 minutes.
I really don't think so. I think that on B point it was a little bit scuffed for a bunch of reasons, but we kind of pulled it together when we got to Alpha. I felt pretty good about the way that we handled the approach. We should have capped it a couple minutes earlier. They had a really nice wrap towards that bottom right side, but we had a really good strategy, I thought, tonight for addressing Morningdale, which is certainly one of the more challenging maps. So I actually think that we played that almost to perfection, at least from a pathing and a priority perspective. We had really good pressure to Oppo. They just got one really good wrap towards that bot right river side, which stymied us that one time, but then we just redid our strategy and we actually took it down.
I agree. Well, speaking of challenging, what was more challenging? Being able to get in there at 8 minutes and getting it to 75%, or having the discipline to step off and give yourself 2 more attempts at practice?
It was hard to step off, right? Your adrenaline gets pumping, you're ready to go. But I think if that had been a real war, we win right there. I think if we go back and watch the bots, there wasn't a chance for them to step off or step on. We were spinning that really, really fast. I'm pretty certain that would have been a victory. So we just wanted to be better safe than sorry, and pull off. But that was a hell of a war, all things considered. I'd say that the hardest thing, Mr. Chalant, was that I've never had a war before where I step off point intentionally, so they were still attacking us. I don't think any of us have really done this, right? So they were still attacking us, and I was trying to wait 2 respawn waves to go at it back again, but it just staggered my army, and a couple people died. It was weird. That was probably the hardest thing, is trying to get some really serious pushes after we did the step off, because it almost intentionally staggered our army.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Retreat recovery is a very niche skill set to have. You usually don't have it on offense. It's something you have to practice on defense more often. But kudos for the Syndicate Army for getting themselves together and composed and being able to put together 2 additional pushes. I don't usually count that last-minute push, even though you probably could have had a pretty solid one. But I feel like they, after that one at 12 minutes, 8 minutes, I think they kind of put themselves together and said, we're not letting that happen again.
Yeah, I think so. They really pulled it together. They played really well near the end there. Heck of an army on that side. I think that they're going to make some noise in this competition. Everybody's still trying to figure out the meta, so I feel pretty good about. Our showing tonight. There's a lot that we need to work on, but for a first war in a new meta, first attack in a new meta on S2 here, I felt pretty good about it. So that was good stuff.
As the season unfolds, KOTT News will continue to bring you the results while this multiversal competitive event continues, including 2 more submissions for Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. Tonight, the Covenant converts of Cancun assault the vault of criminals, attempting to steal away the island's financial capital of Windsward. There's little need for money in this parallel world of housing, crafting, and PvP bliss, so tonight's practice encounter is not about securing tithings, but rather proselytizing enlightenment. But the criminals of the syndicate aren't of the mind to give in to zealots regardless of abundance, opting instead to bolster the security forces around their private vault. Meanwhile, the marauders of ex-Mexico attack the syndicate members of Cookout for control of the bear-infested deep forests of Brightwood. The commish takes his team of ransacking marauders deep into the forest to test their mettle against the organized culinary tacticians of Cookout. The chefs of Cookout are riding the momentum of their practice encounter last night, in which they were technically defeated, but still satisfied by the results. Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.